Hello, I'm Tom Denning. I'm Professor of Dementia Research at Nottingham University. I work at the Institute of Mental Health on the university's Jubilee campus. 2017-2018, we ran a project about dementia and hearing loss in care homes. It was called Orchard, which stands for Optimizing Hearing-Related Communication for Care Home Residents with Dementia. The project was a great success. It was basically a review of good practice, and we wrote a journal paper which we were able to publish in a specialist journal, so we were very pleased with that. At the end of the project, we still had some money left from the grant that we'd received to do the research, so we decided that we'd be a little bit imaginative and hold an arts competition. So we invited artists to submit entries that were based around hearing and communication with particular reference to dementia. We ran the competition at the end of 2018, and we're delighted that we had a number of interesting and varied applications. However, Streets Ahead was the entry called Silent Orchestra, and we were delighted to offer them the prize and to work with them after this to develop their project. So thank you very much.
City Arts is a participatory arts organisation in Nottingham, and we've got a long track record of working with the Institute of Mental Health, particularly with Professor Tom Denning, and he supported us with a programme called Imagine that was working in care homes with residents. And we found through this programme that arts can be really uplifting. You know, it can sort of lift mood, it creates sort of great opportunities for communication and interaction, you know, great opportunities for trying new things and learning new things. But we've particularly found that music and movement were the art forms that, you know, residents really enjoyed and responded to. And it was really great to see people, you know, the later stages of dementia really sort of benefiting from this. So it's great to be working with Tom Denning on the Orchard programme. So we're looking at engaging care residents who are impacted by hearing loss and those living with dementia. So we set up a sort of call out, a brief for a commission, and we were really inspired by the proposal that Jenny, Jamie and Johnny put forward for Silent Orchestra. So this project started with Skylark's Church Farm care home in West Bridgford, and we worked over a series of weeks in quite a small room with 5 to 8 residents at a time, sort of engaging them with music. And you know, Jenny and Jamie have got a really sort of great rapport with the residents, and we really saw people coming out of their shells, you know, getting up for a dance, having a sing. And they also asked them what sort of familiar songs that they wanted them to play the following week, so they had kind of you know, kind of an onus on what was kind of selected and chosen. So it was really sort of nice to see music that was personal to the residents as well. On one particular session, I really remember there was a lady who was quite advanced in her dementia and was very disengaged at the start of the session, and as the music session went on for about half an hour, she really started to kind of unfurl and take notice of the musicians and the songs that were being played and start to tap her feet. And for me, it just shows you the sort of therapeutic nature that music can bring to these settings. So unfortunately, due to COVID, we haven't been able to take the final kind of outcome of the project into the setting. So it's called Silent Orchestra, and what's been created is an immersive experience for the residents with different musical instruments that can be plugged into headphones. They're kind of bespoke musical instruments, so they've been devised and designed by the creative team especially for this project. It would have been great to see how residents had interacted with those, and hopefully sort of beyond lockdown we can take that into the care settings and work with activity coordinators to sort of see, you know, how it can stimulate care residents in their own setting. And I think particularly with it being an immersive experience and with the headphones on, I think people are going to engage with it and interact with it really well. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Hi, I'm Jamie Sykes and I'm the musical director on the Silent Orchestra project. So myself and Jenny are both freelance artists, and so we're regularly looking for kind of interesting, unique commissions that we can get involved with. We saw this one, which is from the Institute of Mental Health and City Arts Nottingham, and it was something that was quite close to our hearts and that we had some experience with from various workshops beforehand. So we decided it'd be the perfect thing to apply for. And then we ended up coming up with an idea in which we could bring music in a variety of different formats. So rather than just having it as an auditory experience, we wanted to make it a multi-sensory experience with feel, we wanted to make it visual, and something that could really connect residents of care homes with family members and their carers also. So the concept of the Silent Orchestra is a multi-sensory music instrument experience in which people are able to play very simple instruments that follow the pentatonic scale to try and make things as harmonically sound as possible. And the whole purpose of this is to unite people, especially those who have got hearing issues and those who are suffering with Alzheimer's and dementia.
Hi, I'm Jenny and I'm the creative director of Silent Orchestra. So at the beginning of the project we went into a local care home and shared therapeutic music sessions with the residents. And over the time that we worked with them we learnt a lot about their tensile strength, what they were able to do and how much they could hold, particularly on their lap. We also learned about the colours that were the best. So a lot of the project was informed by the care home staff as well, who informed us bright colours would be the best. And the fact that we wanted it to be hygienic. So all the cushion covers could be removed, washed, the curtain itself, the lights could come off, it could go in the wash. All of the enclosures could also be wiped down, so everything kind of take particle removable.
It was quite a challenging process. The initial creating of the idea was fantastic, really exciting. The reality of it is always going to be more challenging than the actual initial idea, but that was quite fun. Myself and Jenny ended up working really hard on kind of designing various different enclosures and things like that, seeing how everything would fit together inside. And then it was a process of going to a whole variety of different places, from music shops to hardware stores, went to a piano tuning place just to pick up little bits and bobs. Every single time we picked something up, it would make it even more real. And it's quite nice seeing the actual project come to fruition bit by bit.
So for the cushions, we locally sourced very bright felt from the market and filled them with beans, and we had removable covers. So I made a cover for the cushion itself and then a cover for the beans. So then we could put the vibrating motors inside and zip it up, but also take off the outer cushion covers so they could be washed to keep it fully hygienic. For the curtain, I made that from really thick black felt with added cotton, black cotton on the front to filter the LED lights so it wouldn't be so harsh in the faces of the residents and their family and friends. And then strips of Velcro I sewed onto the black felt, and that was quite challenging, having such dense fabric and quite thick layers. So I had to borrow a more heavy-duty sewing machine for that particular task. And then I made 3 other cushions to go underneath the instruments, and they were on poppers, and so that meant that the residents could actually have these instruments on their lap and they would have extra added comfort.
So Jamie and Jenny came to me with a brief. Basically they needed to make some homemade electronic instruments, and to make these electronic instruments trigger sound, a visual response and a tactile vibration. We used a board called an Arduino, which is a circuit board, a small computer which you can program yourself. It's very easy to do and it's open source. We basically got one of these to recognise which key was being triggered on the individual instruments, and basically literally tell that to light up a corresponding LED strip, play the corresponding sound, and vibrate the cushion also. Yes, many challenges. We should get off on these sort of things, because a lot of it's prototyping and experimentation, of course. You call the challenges. The main one, I mean, it wasn't hard getting the thing to actually trigger. The difficult thing was getting them all to communicate with each other. To facilitate this, we used another Arduino board, a larger one, which basically acted as the central hub or brain. So any time, for example, if the red key on instrument 1 was being triggered, that would light up the red LED strip and also vibrate the cushion. Yeah, that's basically it really. So that was the sort of main challenge, was getting them all to talk to each other in a coherent way. We got quite a lot of help from Nottingham Hackspace, which we used. They were amazing, amazing resources, an amazing space to help prototype and build the thing too. A man called James Phelps helped us a great deal, in fact, yeah, with a lot of the sort of central programming of the hub. We do lots really. We all came up with so many ideas while we were building it. It was just a matter of getting funding. But for this specific project, certainly I would make it all wireless. It would be over a wireless network too, so there'd be no wires at all. All the individual boxes would communicate with each other wirelessly. What I'd like to do is make some kind of recording function onto it, so that people that were playing the instruments could record their jam. Also, especially when it's on a wireless network, it would be easy to upload and download material, so they could record their jam that they made, upload it to the internet for their friends to listen to and watch, and basically those, yeah.
So, of course, due to the global pandemic, the project has had to be totally reshaped. So we're currently innovating new directions in which it could go, and I can't wait to see where it goes.